What up YouTube, Salvador Brigham here, and today I want to talk about a difficult subject, and that is for people out there that are trying to raise money with crowdfunding for a disability. So if you're trying to raise money, let's just say on GoFundMe, you're trying to raise money on You Caring, or even doing a personalized Facebook fundraiser, a Facebook fundraising campaign, what are the best practices for that? And how do you actually use crowdfunding to raise money for a disability? I can't even imagine. I mean, gosh, I feel so lucky to be healthy, to be young, to be, just even in this beautiful summer air. And to think that other people out there are struggling with a disability, it just really, it hurts. It sucks. And I'm so sorry that for whatever reason, your existing funds, your existing financial plan, or whatever it is that you're doing is not able to take care of that. So I hope that I can help you a little bit with today's video when it comes to how to actually go out there and raise money for your disability. In my book, Crowdfunding Personal Expenses, I basically went through this really controversial chapter which talks about why it is that certain campaigns are funded and why other ones are not. Why it is that some campaigns get lots and lots of donations and why other ones don't. And quite frankly, it all comes down to something that I think we all find difficulty engaging in, and that is being willing to share your crowdfunding campaign, your GoFundMe campaign, your personal fundraiser for your disability campaign, being willing to share that with your social network. It's really hard. I know, I understand. It's difficult to put yourself out there and to also share this with your closest friends and family. I've had so many people who have contacted me and said, I want to raise money, but I'm not willing to do that because it comes off like begging. I don't want to feel like I'm asking for charity and asking for help, and it's really demoralizing. But the unfortunate truth of the matter is that if you do want to raise funds, you have to be willing to do that, because it's really unlikely that someone's just going to discover your project online and fund it. It's really rare. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you'll go viral on Reddit, or your story has broad appeal and people are willing to help you. But more often than not, the funding for a GoFundMe campaign or the funding for a personal crowdfunding campaign comes from the social network of the person running it. So number one, you gotta be willing to share the campaign with your social network. And if you're not doing that, that could be why you're not seeing the results that you want when it comes to crowdfunding. Now, the second thing is that you can't have a begging energy when it comes to running one of these campaigns. So I have a video series that I want to share with you, and it sort of talks a little bit about this. So the video series, I'll include a link down below. It's free. You just enter your name and email address. I'll start sending you videos as to how to improve your personal crowdfunding campaign. But one of the things that I say in this series is that you cannot have a begging energy. You can't have a me-centric energy when you're asking people to donate to your campaign, because that's what it comes off as. It comes off as begging. It comes off as you're basically in a really bad time and you want people to help you out. But the problem with that is when people are on their Facebook feed, they're scrolling through their feed after work. That's the last thing that they want to see. So the question is, how do you do that? How do you actually make that ask without coming across as begging or needy, or you're looking for charity? And one of the best ways that I found to try to attack and tackle that problem is to tell a story. Don't just tell people what you need. Don't just tell people what you want. Really try to tell a story. Doing things like a Facebook Live, putting together a video, or telling a story with images. It allows people to actually, say halt. If they're eating a Subway sandwich at lunch, or they're on right after work and they're struggling to get to the Subway and they're just checking their Facebook, it sort of puts them on halt. It puts them off of autopilot, and it makes them actually think and put themselves in your shoes and wonder, wow, if that had happened to me, if this series of events unfolded in my life, and quite frankly, that can happen to anyone, what would I feel like? What would it be like? Wow, that is horrible. What a story does is it allows people to empathize with you. It allows people to put themselves in your shoes and to feel for a moment what it would be like if these events happened to them. So the best thing that you can do, and nonprofits are famous for doing this, the nonprofits that actually get people to donate to projects, and I've worked with many nonprofits in the past, is they actually tell a story which causes you to feel something in your heart when it comes to this actual cause. You can sort of steal that strategy and you can apply it to your own campaign. Another very easy thing that you can do with your crowdfunding campaign for a disability is to be extremely humble, to be gracious. We don't ever want to just give money to someone and them to just take the money and like run, or not send us a thank you card. We tend to remember thank you cards. We tend to remember when people appreciate us and appreciate the energy that we do or that we put out there into the world, whether it's helping someone financially or just giving someone attention, having a friendship. We tend to like it when people appreciate the energy that we put or invest into a relationship. So the reason why people are actually going to support you is not only because they empathize with you, they think about how horrible it is and how they want to alleviate some of that pain, and you're a person that matters to them in their life. It's also because they want to feel like a good person. They want to feel like they're doing good, like they're maybe aligning to their faith, or they're doing what they wanted to do in terms of being a better person in life, and they're actually helping someone out. The only way that someone is going to feel great after giving money is if you allow them to, is if you thank them, if you're gracious. You have to allow people to feel good about helping you. And the only way to do that is to do things like thanking people, shouting people out, saying, oh my gosh, this means so much to me. Thank you so much for making my life better, or for contributing to this campaign. And the funny thing is that also draws attention to your actual fundraiser. Now, the final thing I want to say when it comes to raising money for a disability is that not only do you have to be willing to share this with your social network, but you also have to go out there and you have to directly message people and tell them what this means to you and how much their support would mean. And they might say no. They might ignore your message. They might not reply to you. You might lose a friend or two after doing this, but the thing is that any real friend will help you in a situation of need. And you have to be willing to put yourself on the line and do that. Otherwise, quite frankly, you cannot expect to raise money for a disability using crowdfunding. Now, there are tons of more ways that you can engage your social network. There are strategies for reaching out to strangers and getting strangers to back your actual GoFundMe or your crowdfunding campaign. And I share tons of that, tons of tried and true strategies and tactics for doing that in my book, Crowdfunding Personal Expenses. It's a very low cost book, and I also have an Audible version out there for you. So if you want to listen to this, you're really busy, you can't pay attention to reading an entire book on your own. If you want to listen to this on the go, you want to listen in the car, I have an Audible book which I put together for you, Crowdfunding Personal Expenses. Just download that, you can listen to it, and you'll download all of those strategies directly into your brain. I hope that you enjoyed this YouTube video and you check out some of the other videos I have out there on raising money for charity, raising money for nonprofits, raising money for personal expenses. Again, my name is Salvador Brigman. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time.